So I got a little further on the whole build and swap. Basically, I have the block flipped over. The reason for that is because I'm trying to get this front gear, this front gear on. I think I got it on. I am no technician by any means whatsoever, but I did get this off. The way I got this off from the old block over here was I used a pry bar. Pittsburgh pry bar from Harbor Freight, because you know, they make shit good enough to get the job done, but also cheap enough that it could kill you. So this thing, there's like a little half moon divot here. There's 2 gears here that go for the timing chain. You know how it kind of loops around the sprockets, the camshaft sprockets for the gears. So this is the central part for the timing and whatnot. Big piece. Basically, you want to get like a little flathead screwdriver like this. And use this as like a mini pry bar. Basically, you're gonna want to slide this in and then pop it up, and that only tilts it. That's not all the way out yet. When you tilt it back, then you slide it back under and pry again, and then it should pop out. Now, to go ahead and get it back in on the other block was also a pain. I oiled everything up. I actually took this little half moon piece and I put it in the spot, and I very gently tapped it in with a sledgehammer. So mainly just using the weight of the hammer itself, not winding up or anything. Don't be hulking it out and going ahead smashing through your crankshaft, but like just let the weight of the hammer go ahead and tap it into place. That allowed it to be down enough that I could go ahead and slide this over. I think that's all I need. I don't think there's anything else that's gonna be crazy to go ahead and need to twist it or anything. I hope it's secure. Oh, I guess not. I don't know. I guess it's supposed to do that though too. It's only gonna be turning, so. Although that did give me a little fear. Oh well, we're gonna figure this shit out, aren't we? So that's the next little bit. So I learned something. So here is the bottom of my old engine. This was the water pump, I believe, oil pan, all that crap, oil bath, whole thing. I have it over there because I'm gonna go wash it off before. Look at these metal chunks. I'm not gonna. This shit is like a straw, you know. That's how it sucks up the oil. So I don't want to go ahead and. I already have some flakes and stuff in it, you know. So I'm gonna go rinse that out really well, all that good stuff, before throwing it all back in a brand new engine. Anyway, holy shit, dude, look at that. Wow, I fucked up even the water. Or oil, what was this? I guess it was oil, huh? Look at that. That's where the oil, I don't know what it's called, I just call it the straw, but that's where, that sucks up stuff. Wow, that's crazy. So it even hit there. That's new. Anyway, basically this entire thing comes up and off. See how it separates? That's where you get those rings, or rings and stuff. Anyway, the part that I learned is there is this tube for the water, for your coolant line. It goes right here. You undo the bolts, you know, around. That's all well and good. You're all smart enough for that, I figure. So I was not. So I started prying it. I got it like 90% of the way, and I did not see this bolt. This bolt is directly under the water line. I did not break anything, you know, but I also learned from the heads after trying to pry them off when it shouldn't have been that hard that there's always a secret bolt. So be sure to watch out for that bolt. You don't want to fuck up, well, I guess if you fuck up the old block, if it's already damaged, then it doesn't matter, but you definitely don't want to screw up this whole plate for a good seal for the water and oil and everything. So be sure to kind of watch out for that. The parts that I pried, because I had a little bit of a struggle with this, the prying I did is right here where there's a divot, and right, let's see if I put this back in place. pry basically, so now it's kind of back in place. So I pried in this little divot right here, just a wider view, so right in there. And then in here, in this little weird groove, anywhere there's a little groove, oh sorry, not here, right here, you can see kind of some marks and stuff. That's where I pried, and that got it a decent amount of the way on this side. So from there, it pretty much lifted up. You definitely got to get some leverage. I was balancing it in this corner off here. Don't just full send it all at once and mark up your block, or I don't know, hulk it out, bend your pry bar or some shit, but or chip this. So definitely be careful, let it have some lift. And once you get kind of in the middle, it just basically, you know, comes off. And that's where you have the bottom of the block here. And then from there, I gotta clean up all this crap and then put it on the new block. So, and then also in the seal kit, you also get a new seal for the oil. It goes right here. So either way, you do get a replacement in the seal kit. So that would be one of the seals. And I'll have to double check, but I think it's these 3 seals. Although, yeah, so you should have that in your seal kit as well. So you definitely want to replace those. This plug, I think is already included. I don't think, yeah, I think it's already included because I don't think I put that one there. I put a different one there, or a different one somewhere else. I know I put one on the back. Oh, you know what it is? I have a turbo application, so under here, you will have a plug. See where that little nipple is? That is where you'll plug it, I believe. Yeah, because the other one was smaller, and I have to get an old plug for that. But this one is where your other plug will go. I just don't have that because I have a JDL kit.
It is another day. I just wanted to quickly show you a little thing about the head gaskets, and I have the head gaskets, so I have ARP studs, and then with that, the head gasket goes on pretty smooth. This is the way it's positioned. So the square one, or the more square one, goes ahead and sits on the left side if you're facing like the transmission where that would be. So it goes on the left side. This is the gasket, or the head gasket. With all this, I don't know what these are called. Not dowel pins, not the head stud, but these little separate things that are here. These actually you have to push in yourself. So they come with the kit. You basically just go ahead. I oiled a couple of them up, and then I realized assembly lube's probably better, so then I did assembly lube on those. Both oiled the ring itself as well as the inside of that, and then I just took my hammer and just kind of tapped it into place. Again, don't hulk it out and stuff. ARP head studs, finger tight in, put the assembly lube on this side, but like the part you screw in, but on these threads and stuff. And so yeah, you can go ahead and do all that. And along with all that, with my like I said, I picked up a new upper oil pan. That's what I guess this whole assembly is called. I picked up a used one. I probably should have got new, but oh well. I figured it wouldn't make too much of a difference. The only difference, really, to be honest, is probably the thermostat. And this has a shit seal, so I'll replace that, kind of clean it up a bit, and I'll have to kind of get a Scotch-Brite pad, get the last little bit of this crap off. But it really shouldn't all be that bad, to be honest, so I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, you basically put these little rings in, then the head studs, then the gasket, and then the heads. So with ARP head studs, it's a little different than the OEM ones. If you haven't done it before, they are just the threads like this, and then they come They come with some assembly lube as well as, oh, they are right here. My bad. They come with these, which are the heads, and they screw in up at the top, and then the washers as well. They look pre-lubricated, so that's kind of cool. At least the ones from jAHKU, but I guess they came in the pack, so you know what, they probably go for all of them. Yeah, if you have an FA-20 motor, by the way, the EJ series does work of head studs. They are sold out during this wonderful pandemic and shit. I could not find them anywhere, but jAHKU did have some EJs, so part number, SKU, all that good stuff. Yeah, so I'm gonna finish assembling this and put the heads on, and I'll show you how to do the other side if you'd like. I figured why not. Everyone just seems to skip it all. I'm trying to, it's hard to film and then also put it on the same at the same time, because I am only one person and they are fairly heavy. I'll show you guys how to do it. Let's see. I think I still have this guy. Yeah, I have these two left to go. Just go ahead. Place it back in. And then I just gotta do the same for this one. And we tighten everything down. So these hexes, these, don't torque these. I might get hosed for this, but that's fine. I just use this because I don't want to hand screw it down, but you go ahead and the first step is to make sure all of these studs are hand tight. I'm just gonna slowly do this to cut my time down. See, it takes forever. I did the other side by hand, so it's just, you can see how much it goes down for the difference. So I'm gonna do the rest for these guys, and then I'll tell you the foot pounds and all that good stuff for, there's actually 3 different stages. So yeah. So in case you were wondering, this is a, what is this? Can't tell. Oh, 532. And it won't focus. There, 532. So, yeah, 532 for a hex, right? Yeah. And that's what I use for the ARP head studs. Now, the difference between the ARP head studs for the EJ series and the FA series isn't actually too much. The foot pounds is not entirely accurate. So here is the instructions. Basically, all this is kind of BS. Well, it's not BS. Read through it, but it's like it's basically like prepping the surface, all that good stuff. So you do it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, right? So that would be, come over here, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, nailed it. Okay. I should know that since I did the other side. But basically, you want to do 30 foot-pounds to begin with. So all of that, you start here, go here, here, or sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's like a star pattern. So yeah, do it in that order. And then the next is 60 foot-pounds. But the difference with the third set is 90 foot-pounds. It is not 90 for the FA. I looked it up on the ARP studs for the FA motor, and they want 95. It's not a big difference. I'm actually doing 94 because I think my torque wrench goes up by 2s. I've had some bad luck with breaking bolts in the past, so I'm going to go ahead and just stick with 1 pound under for safekeeping. But yeah, just do 95 foot-pounds compared to the 90, since that's what they recommend for the FA engines. And yeah. Oops, I did forget to add, I don't know if you're necessarily supposed to do this or have to do this. I just did it for safekeeping anyway. Same thing on the other side. I went ahead and used the ARP assembly lubricant for these threads as well. So basically you put these head studs on, and then yeah, you thread those sides that go in. Actually, right now I might as well show you the gasket that goes on this side. And it's not here, it is with my other head. Alright, so for whatever side, if you're looking at the crank, this would be the driver side again, so the transmission would be here if you're looking directly at it, so this would be the driver side. This gasket is the one with the little arrowy thing. Oh, I should point out, because I haven't seen anyone else mention this, there is a wrong way to put it on, by the way. You want these divots, if you can see these, like things. They're not huge, they're pretty subtle, but you want those facing down. Yeah, so that is something to be aware of. Yeah, I guess in the meantime, while it's right here, I did get that head gasket on. This is how it's supposed to go on for, again, the driver's side. Trying to not get blasted by the light. Yeah, so as you can see, angles, and again, the divots go downwards, so make sure you have that when you're installing the gaskets, because it would really suck to put it together, realize you have it flipped up, and are getting all sorts of oil or coolant or whatever in your channels and stuff, and your whatever sleeves or pistons and whatnot. Since Subaru head gaskets are already pretty pretty shit to begin with, you know, they go bad, but that's all right. In the meantime, I'm gonna yank up his head. Also, I did forget to mention one more thing, and that is you want to clean off every time the surface of anything getting mounted, just to make sure there's no oil or whatever else, just a extra safety precaution. I had a Walmart special of the gunk parts cleaner and degreaser, so nothing crazy. You know, bench straw, all that good stuff. Walmart special. But yeah, I have larger valves, as you can see. The springs on the other side. I can show you once the thing's mounted, but yeah, you just grab kind of a shop rag, you know, and spray. I'm not gonna spray it on here, but I just fold it up and then go for it. Once you have the head mounted, I once again lubed up with the ARP assembly lube, the little tops of the thing. I think if I was to do it again, though I don't know because it is very difficult, maybe you should lube them after you tighten them down. Not torque them, but hand tighten them down. I would maybe lube them up and then put the heads on, but again, you might get that crap in there. I'm not entirely sure. So yeah, otherwise I'm gonna go put on these crush washers and the heads of the bolts. Got 2 of them. They're stuck because they're all already lubed up. There. All right. Last one. Okay. And then these wonderful what do you call it? Tops, screws, I don't know. These again are also, seems to be lubricated as well. So just come over here. I just basically finger tighten them down. I just use the same method though, as I use that you can use a impact wrench. Don't just like full blast it, but if you just want to speed up the process, that's totally fine. Okay, first set of foot pounds again is 30. I'm just using the EJ guidelines, except for the final third step is the FA guidelines. So again, it is 30, then 60, then 95. Unless you want to go in, I guess you could do 35, 65, 95. Because they just separated by 30 foot-pounds, so I guess you could do that too. But yeah, this is still set at 90, so I'm gonna go loosen this up. Thermostat just ends up twisting out. I'm an idiot and I was freaking out that I bought a used oil pan, upper oil pan, because it's from a 2013 that spun a bearing. I think it was 140-some thousand miles on it, which is high, especially for these cars, but I wasn't too worried about it. And the reason why is because nothing here is like, I don't want to say functional because it's all functional, but like have a tendency to wear out, I guess, because it's all metal castings. So the baffle and stuff is kind of different. Not different, but like, I don't know, everything's just always in oil. So it's still in decent condition. All I did was switch out the thermostat. So the thermostat is just under this like weird coolant hose thing. You rarely actually just twist this out and it pops out really easy. It might be stuck, so you might have to use some vice grips. Like, don't crank it super hard, but just enough that you can kind of twist it and pop it out. Nothing crazy. Otherwise you should be able to use it with your hands, but like I said, mine at 60k miles was stuck. So this is the same, this is my original one. I just swapped it over. I used the same ring because it looked to be in decent shape. I would say just go buy another one. If it's still accessible, I'm just gonna buy one tomorrow at a Subaru. But
for the meantime, I'm going to cover this up. Oh, I did forget to mention, so with this thermostat, it actually slides in the middle of this gasket. It's not something you just lay on the top. What you want to do is you want to pull the thermostat out. With this gasket, you want to run it along the edges of the thermostat. So it's like, here, let me free up a hand. So you have the ridges like here, you know, the disc, and then you run the gasket along. So basically, so pretend this is the disc. The gasket goes like that. So it circles the edge of the entire thing. So then you want to be able to snug it in. There's a divot, but you don't want it raising up on each edge. And it will take a little bit of flexing this one way, pushing it down, flexing it another, pushing it down, making sure it's completely flat. So it's not, it's a little bit more of a process than just like throwing it in, bolting it down. So do be aware of that. Otherwise, it's just some 10 millimeters that are longer than this one. I just have a box of bolts, so I gotta figure out which ones go to it. But then yeah, it's just two 10 millimeters that secure that hose into place. And yeah. All right, this will be the last video for the night. But basically, I went ahead and I sanded this down because I live on the East Coast now. I used to be from the West Coast, but now with the East, you get this lovely surface rust everywhere, and it's crap. So what I did was I took 320 grit sandpaper, which honestly might be a little too harsh, but it looks fine. I basically sanded the majority of the surface rust off. It's not 100%, but the main part, which is this weird straw, that is pretty much rust free now. It wasn't bad, like I said, it's just surface rust, so it looks nice and polished now. I took my old coolant hose or it's not a hose, but like, you know, this little thing from my old car, hence the oil pan gasket crap that's still on here. I'll peel that off. So there's an O-ring. Oh wait, for the thermostat I already went over that, but I did want to say there's an O-ring in here. It's just one of the ones you lay in the track. It's not a big deal, though. What I will say is clean it out first. Not only clean from the top, if it is off the car, also clean in here as well. A trick I used is I actually used a key, and where the O-ring goes, if there was crap in there, I basically used the key and then pushed it through like this, like you would your finger, except it's more narrow. And then you go around and get that dust particles or dirt or whatever else is in there out. You can also use that for cans. Like, I don't know if you guys go ahead and drink Monster or, you know, Red Bull or whatever else like I do, but basically I do that with all my cans because I don't know, I used to do 7-Up vending and stuff, and so I know they just sit in the warehouse and collect crap like dust and just gross stuff. So yeah, that's just a good life trick pretty much. Tomorrow I have to go through some of these seals. Obviously you have the intake manifold seals that are these long ones. This front seal, I don't know where it goes. If I had to guess, I'm thinking it's over here, but I'll kind of use my old engine for some comparisons and we'll figure it out. Otherwise, some of these other ones, a lot of these are injector seals, I feel like. Some various O-rings here and there for different stuff, like the orange ones go up top, or sorry, on the bottom where the oil pan, upper oil pan goes. And then those are all the bolts to that pan. So I don't know what part this is going to be, but I think it'll be the end of maybe like part 2 or something. So yeah, come for part 3 soon.